good morning to you anywhere you are tuning in. This is Linda's TV show. If it is your first time of tuning in or coming across this wonderful platform, I welcome you all. And if you like the kind of content we present here, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notifications. This will help you to know when we upload a new video. Here, we react to all forms of videos, local, international, especially what is happening in Nigeria and in Biafran land. I put a disclaimer that here we do not promote misleading information, hate speech, violence, or trying to instigate war. We are only here to inform, educate, sanitize the members of the public about the happenings in the globe. Information, they say, is power. And I also seize this opportunity to appreciate YouTube for creating and managing this wonderful platform that enables us to dispatch information to the members of the public. My great people of Biafra, before I go into today's video is a very interesting video that I don't want any Biafra. If you are a Biafran, this video, you must watch it. But before we go into this, I heard a news that is not good. One of our brother, Emmanuel Oremjus. Please, I want every Biafra, if you have the heart of human, go to Truth TV News, either on Facebook or YouTube. Please go and sympathize with our brother, Emmanuel Oremjus. He lost his son. Last year, we rejoiced with him when his wife gave birth, and this morning, we receive a news that the baby is no more. This is the sacrifice one pays as a freedom fighter. According to him, ever since the baby was born, he have not seen the baby. The only thing he heard is that the baby is dead. If he were with the baby, maybe something that led to this early death would have been prevented. Please, if you have a heart of a human, go to Truth News TV on YouTube or Facebook. Sympathize with our brother. This is the highest sacrifice one pays as a freedom fighter. Just like Nnamdi Kanu, he is languishing, suffering, being maltreated because of our freedom. What prevents him from getting what offer they are giving to him and enjoy his life? But because of you and I, the poorest of the poor, he is there. At night, most of us that are married, you go to your wife, you enjoy, you do. There is nothing like freedom. But Nnamdi Kanu sacrificed everything just for us. Just like this, our brother now. Imagine you staying without seeing your family. Is there any sacrifice that is greater than this? Or are you talking about Prime Minister? Imakwambo Prime Minister now because of Biafra restoration. That is why when I look at people who talk through their nose, I just laugh. I said ignorance is a very bad disease. Please, my brother Emmanuel Oremjus, if you are watching or you'll be listening to my voice, if I tell you sorry, sorry cannot bring back your son. Sorry cannot console you. But I pray that God Almighty, who allows this to happen, will console you, console your family, and all these sacrifices that you have made because of Biafra restoration, that God is going to bless you with another son that will stay long, that will bring you prosperity and everlasting happiness. Please accept my condolence. So my great people, today's video walking on video ige nene eziokwu dịka afọ ime adekpu ya aka. At the end of everything, it is not clear that all this while it was only Biafra, it was only Prime Minister that is standing for Nnamdi Kanu. I'm not going to talk too much. Anyamu for him. Hey, when this thing started newly, I started having doubt. Every time they will come and tell us that Nnamdi Kanu is in high spirits, I'll be asking myself, What is a high spirit? Somebody that is under the hands of his enemy. Somebody that is in DSS, that Owazirike made us to know that DSS is not a place one can spend the night. You are telling me that somebody who is in DSS is in high spirit. The second grammar is that done and dusted. Done and dusted. When your client is still there, you are at times I ask myself if they really understand the meaning of the English they use at once. Well, you are going to hear everything. This video might be long, but try to listen. In fact, you wouldn't even like to miss it when you start listening to it. Then you come to the comment section to tell me what you think. You are free to criticize, you are free to contribute, you are free to drop your own opinion, but let us do it always constructively so that no one will be offended at the end of the day. Thank you so much, and continue watching Linda's TV show. We bring undiluted news to you here.
Who was kidnapped? Is there any time, any meeting held anywhere that you actually uttered that Onyendu was in the mountain praying as they said they asked you? Because this has gone so viral that this is only argument they can set up that you said that Onyendu was praying in the mountain, please. We need to clarify this, please. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much. I never had any meeting with anybody to talk about this. It was a mere propaganda on their own side. If you can go back to what happened at the early 2001, precisely from July, this is a propaganda they put up in order to position themselves. I had a meeting with DOS, and I never made mention of that. You can ask any DOS member today, they will tell you that I never mentioned that Onyendu was praying in the mountain. Rather, it's only the few individuals who are trying to be relevant then are the ones that used to this propaganda, and they sold it to a lot of people who can't even reason, who don't even have their own opinion. Rather, they have other people's opinion. That was what happened. There was nothing like that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. It's very, very important. Dear friends, we are listening, and I think people are taking note. And tonight's program is going to be like, as Mazi Kanunta Kanu is sitting on the hot seat tonight. Anyone that have any pertinent question can put it on our comment section. If something that is viable, then I can bring it to his attention. But having said that, Mazi, I know there's a lot, but we're going to be specific. And now, I want to ask this very question: who hired Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor? Who hired him? And I'm going to ask that question. Who hired him? That's my first question, please. Can you clarify this? Very, very important. And was he hired as a pro bono, or as he hired as an employer that's getting paid? Because there's a particular article that he put up there that he was working for IPOB on pro bono. So I want you to clarify this, please.
Thank you very much. In the first place, he was employed by Onyendu in 2016 to act for him solely, and not IPOB. That is the impression many of them is carrying. It's Onyendu that he came to defend, and not IPOB. It's very important. And there was never a time he worked for this noble organization or for Onyendu on pro bono. Never for once. Not till today. He has always been paid. For the avoidance of doubt, he has always been paid. So he never worked for us on pro bono. Thank you.
Well, I want second question on this particular Ejiofor's matter is that how many cases has he won for IPOB, including Onyendu? Let's put Onyendu, because I just want you to clarify it, please.
He never won any case for us. But the man, he was part of the network team when the son won the case that gave Onyendu bail. He was not the one. He was never the one. So he never won any case for us.
Okay. And another thing is that people put up argument that he was the one that secured Onyendu bail in 2017, which we know what actually happened. That's the argument some people are putting. Some people say single-handedly. I don't know where they get that information from. But like I said, it's something that we need to clarify. And as you have answered it, and he has not won any case for IPOB, which you have said it. And now we move forward. Mazi, Onyendu, I want to ask a very specific question on this. When Onyendu arrived from Kenya to the zoo and his detention, a lot has happened, right? So can you give us an insight of what transpired between when Onyendu was rendition and Onyendu coming to the zoo, and what has happened, on that particular time, before I will come down to the legal issue now, please?
Like we all know what happened, that Onyendu was taken by the enemies, and nobody knew where he was. As we were planned And we were doing our own investigation to find out exactly what happened until they brought him back to Nigeria on 27th of June. And then we saw him in the court on 29th. That was what happened within this very period of time, you know. And this was the handwork of the government, of course, Nigerian government. We know what they did there after so many investigations, what they did, and with the aircraft they used to bring him back to Nigeria. So this is what happened, you know. And I think the rest, when they will tell us in less than no time when it's out.
Okay, Maz, that's fine. And now, the legal issues. We want to go into the legal issues now, and the things that has been done within our legal teams, and specifically Ejiofor and Mike Ezekome. I need you to clarify, very important to BIAFRANs to know, right? What has we did now Ejiofor and Ezekome, you know, Ejiofor and Ezekome. Maz, can you start by clarifying the distinction between these two, because there's a lot I need to ask you, please, if you can.
These were people working for Nnamdi Kanu. You know, and I know that if Mike Ezekome came in January and he worked till the time when they sacked them with Ifani Ejiofor. So in the picture, and I think it will be of no use talking to them unless things that are relevant. You know, talking about them means giving them relevance. Oh, yeah. So we just put one by the side. But if there is something that you need to know or to ask what happens, you know, then I can explain. And that is why I say, okay. Thank you.
Okay, now also, okay, let me just, it's fine. I get that. Now, there's something I needed to clarify. You know, that because I was part of it. You know what I mean? So when Onyendu was rendition, we started case from Kenya that comes down to UK here. And I've seen some articles, you know, the propaganda they're peddling out there that we lost case in UK and the case in Kenya. None of this individual understood what was going on the legal processes. Even the zoo there, they could not do anything. Because I can remember that Ejiofor didn't even know what rendition is. Mazi, can you just quickly clarify between these two cases in Kenya and UK, you know, the outcomes? Just, you know, overview of it so that I can move forward, please.
The good news there is that the Kenya case is ongoing. And we decided to keep it the way it is. We decided to be calm and keep it the way it is. You know, because there are people who are in the system who don't even know what to do. They talk from both sides of their mouth. They won't understand the case. They see them, they start talking about it. And the case in the UK is very clear. In High Court, we lost the case. Why they still told us that we will have a legitimate case to bring to UK court if Onyendu is not being released. Okay? Yeah. And the appeal court went. Of course, they've upheld the decision of the lower court, High Court, and they went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court said that they won't entertain the case, that they don't want to entertain it, that they will remain where we are, meaning that the ruling of appeal court stands. That if Onyendu is not being released, then we have the right to come back to court to force the government to speak on his behalf. You know, and as it is, we are still waiting. Things are going on the ground. It's not what I'm going to talk about here. We're still going to put out our letter to the FCDCO. Based on the present situation of Onyendu and the way the case has been handled. Don't forget, these people we acquired in the UK, they still have a role to play in Nigeria. They are the ones coordinating all that is happening in Nigeria in terms of the legal aspect and the rest of it. I know. So everybody should know about this. And taking them to court means a lot for us. It's its first time the issue of Biafra has been mentioned in UK court after 50-something years. Yeah. So it's very difficult for them to accept such a thing, because they killed us, and at the same time, we're back in their own court again. I mean, that is very funny and very frustrating for them too.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. But that's, you know, is essentially put, which I was part of it here when we went, and it is good that everybody now is hearing from the horse's mouth. Now, Mazi, now I want you to clarify this appeal court and a federal high court where we are. What transpired in appeal court to federal high court, please?
The issue of appeal court is very, very disappointing for obvious reasons. The people that are supposed to give Onyendu the best defense, protection, ended up messing up his case. In court, I can say that they betrayed Onyendu. But I have to summarize this in two ways, two sentences. Why the stay? Because I heard many people talking about Onyendu will not stand trial, Onyendu will not stand trial, yes. But this is something that ought to have happened earlier. And why they're saying these things? Because they never understood what happened. And they never read the ruling of the appeal court, which I posted in my wall. And you know, sometimes they're reluctant. They want people to explain everything to them before they can understand. What I have to say is this. One, that barrister, I will say that Barrister Xp0Se Ejiofor was a witness to the same case he was defending. This is the reasons for the sake of execution.
Okay.
That he was a witness to the same case he is defending. And the appeal court found that Barrister Xp0Se Ejiofor affidavit is contradictory, laden with hearsay, and did not pass the legitimacy and credibility of law. Quote, that was why they stayed the execution. So this is for those who do not know what happened, and for those who don't want to read and who don't want to understand, because people are telling them what to believe, people are telling them what to do, and they swallowed it. Who can think it? That is why we are where we are today, because they refuse to understand what happened, because they could not read the judgment. But I'm glad we need to have sacked them, and that is the end of discussion.
Wow. And yeah, and okay, and the Federal High Court, and that's why we are in the Federal High Court now, right? That's the whole thing that brought us back to the Federal High Court, wasn't it?
Yes, we are back to Federal High Court today for one reason. Everybody heard what Supreme Court said, that we should go back to High Court, Binta Nyako's court, to discuss the rest. But it's very funny that it's only in Nigeria where Supreme Court will give an order and the magistrate court will not obey it.
It's quite funny. Amazi, if you remember the last sitting on the, I think it wasn't on the 19th of March, when Binta Nyako was quoting, she was trying to be funny when Ejimako, our late counsel, and his team were, bombasting her with important evidence. And she was like, try to prove that they're supposed to had a code of conduct that guided them. But how would that be that you granted, when they came, when the appellant came and seeking for Onyendu, the kind Onyendu wanted, he knew that Onyendu house was invaded. Assassination that was very, very evident with everybody. And she granted it. She shouldn't have done that. She knows she did the wrong thing. So when you have done that, you wouldn't expect anybody to actually follow the decorum of whatever you do. And this is what the problems are. You know what I mean, Mazi? But we will move forward. Yeah.
The Supreme Court made it clear that it was irresponsible for the court to revoke Onyendu's bail.
Thank you very much.
It was very right. So the question you have to ask yourself now is this: what happened? This is a woman that's supposed to be on retirement. She was called back and given a strafe of years tenure. And what do you expect her to do? Somebody came into court without reading through the ruling of Supreme Court. She came into the court 30 seconds and said that there won't be any bail. He will not grant any bail. What does that mean? She's flouting the order of the Supreme Court. That means the Supreme Court doesn't even have any power in Nigeria. That is basically what it is. They don't have any power in Nigeria. And you ask yourself, why can't you grant Onyendu bail? A lot of issues came up. Said, okay, you can give me house arrest or send him to Kuje prison. She said no, that she won't do that. Because most people she sent to Kuje prison, all of them escaped. Meaning that is the federal government that is sponsoring all the whole prison break that is happening in Nigeria.
Wow.
That is what she's trying to tell us. That she can't find in Kuje prison. And now, house arrest, that's where we are. So that tells you all you need to know. It's only in Nigeria where this kind of a thing can happen. Because you can ask them, what kind of law did they read? You say they're a judge. You can't, you can't judge. You can't sit down to see the fact. You just can't understand. What is the reason? And funny enough, even the ruling of appeal, the Supreme Court, she did not read as a judge that came into the court to sit on the same case.
She didn't even she didn't even go through the ruling from the Supreme Court, you know what I mean?
No.
Of her recklessness and irresponsibility. And she wants somebody to actually pay attention to her. I don't know where she did that. Mas, let's move forward. Now, I want you to clarify one thing again concerning why Onion is still in detention and the insecurity in Southeast and those benefiting on the agonies of Biafra's Mazi. Because this is broad and wide. Can you imagine they say they're paying 500 million every time Onion appear to the court? And they can see why they was not bringing Onyendu to the court, because the previous lead counsel was dancing into their tune. I can say that categorically because we all have eyes, but I will let you to elaborate on this, please.
I will say one thing here that we all should be indebted to Nnamdi Kanu, including his enemies, who doesn't see anything good in whatever thing he is doing. today. But using his name to steal and loot the treasure in Nigeria, you know, is what they admire so much. Why it? That tells you how horrible all these things are. Now you have to ask, when he was in the court and he made his statements there about insecurity that is happening in Nigeria, in Southeast more especially, about those who are benefiting from it. These are the top politicians in Igbo.
Wow.
They will come in the day and say, we want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. They will go at the back and say, no, don't release him. That is the game they are playing. Where do I start from? Let me start in Imo State. Hope Uzodinma is the Chief Security Officer of Imo State. What is he doing with the allocation of Imo State people? He's calling military to be clean his own people. That is what he does. By so doing, pocketing the allocation money in his pocket. So when you talk about Nnamdi Kanu, we tell you no, Nnamdi Kanu will not be released. Let me tell you something. There was a meeting that took place in Owerri. The stakeholders who went to Owerri went to discuss the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. And when they got there, Hope Uzodinma threw everybody away. The journalists, he sent them out and was telling them story about Nnamdi Kanu. That is the problem in Igbo. They said no, he is the topic that we have to discuss. That tells you how he operates. What is after is what is going to get on the people of Imo State. Imo State is burning left, right, and center. All my life, I have never seen any place, anywhere, bullets has brought peace.
No.
The only thing that brings peace is dialogue. And do not forget, he said months ago that IPOB is not behind insecurity in Imo State or in Southeast.
Yeah.
That those who are behind insecurities are the politicians in Imo State. And why all of a sudden is accusing IPOB, accusing ESN? That is the question. This is how he benefits from the insecurity in Southeast. And I can assure you, if he should remain in the power in the next 20 years, the insecurity will continue and increase more than the way it is today.
Yeah.
This is how they operate. Now you go back on the side of the DSS. You see the Yusuf Bichi Magaji and what he's doing. You said something that said when Nnamdi comes to court, it's 500 million. No, it's not 500 million. It's 800 million naira. So in the last 2 times he has been in the court, they have spent 1.6 billion naira for Nnamdi's transportation to court. Do you see why?
That's insane. That's unheard of. To be honest, Mazi, it's insane.
This is how they operate, and that is why they've decided to suffer Nnamdi by keeping him in detention and DSS.
Wow.
Which, of course, other top politicians are benefiting from all this, including those that worked for us before. And I'm using this opportunity to call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to investigate Bichi for all this criminality, because this is unheard of. This is unheard that somebody will bring somebody to court. It's not even a distance of up to, call it 10 kilometers. You are charging 800 million naira. This is very, very horrible.
Wow.
Very, very horrible. It's only in Nigeria where such a thing can happen. And that is why when court give orders and tell them what to do, they wouldn't want to do it because of the money they are getting from Nnamdi Kanu. And that is very, very bad.
Wow. Mazi, it is very important. Biafrans, I think everybody ears are open because this is a great opportunity for us this evening to have Mazi Kanunta Kanu on studio on Biafra Radio. And everything you get here is true and nothing but the truth. A lot has been said, almost 3 years and counting, but tonight we are setting the record straight, regardless who it might offend. But whatever we said here is fact check. Now, as we proceed, as it stands right now, there's a publication they put out there, that the creation of Chika, called a dozen wanted by the Nigerian military. Even though intelligence have told us there's a plot the other way around. Please, can you elaborate on this plot, please? Very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you. I would say it's very sad that the state military is declaring Chiketism wanted. Of course, the military doesn't have the powers to declare anybody wanted in Nigeria. They are not police. They are not secret services or secret agents that would do that. But it's very, very unfortunate that you can see what is happening. You know, when you sack somebody, you are a lawyer, you have been sacked. And they are still trying to come back through a conway? How can you come back through a conway? By liaising with people and said, go and declare this person wanted. Why are you declaring wanted? What did he say? Is there any evidence to show this is what he said before you could be declared wanted? The only thing somebody would do is just to jump up and say, I'm going to file a court case. Which court case are you going to file? Without you knowing, in reality, that this doesn't hold grounds. Why is saying that? You have been sacked. IPOB did not employ you. You were appointed, but when you are sacked, all of a sudden you are coming back to that IPOB General Council. That is absolute madness. That means you are shameless. Only we have sacked you. We've moved on. Yet we are running around looking for people to open. I don't know if you are a double agent of the zoo. You are looking for people to now to bring in so that you can come back to finish the job you couldn't finish before you left. That will not happen again. You are entitled to work for anybody as a private lawyer, barrister, is your business. But I will say one thing. Do not bring IPOB into your mess. Like the way you brought IPOB into the bed of your kinsman, Chief Emekofo. That should stop. Because the era of this, sabotaging, betraying people, bringing people together, conflict is over. So if you want to do your stuff, do it, remove IPOB. You don't represent IPOB, you don't represent Nnamdi Kanu. We all wish you good luck. Go ahead and do what you have to do. It's as simple as that.
Mazi, you know, you just said something, but you couldn't finish it. Please, I really want you to create a very distinction, because it is very, very important that people understand. The last time I checked, regardless that Nnamdi Ejiofor has, I mean, this question was thrown to our special counsel, that lead counsel, and even said that he's not sure it's going to be the same person in the next court case, but he believed it will be. There's no need. Somebody, it's like when you've been sacked from work, probably couldn't perform below expected, or maybe you've been laid off. That's the natural of job employed. Now, on each of Ejiofor, we know how he came in, and that's something we need to get into. But I want you to please elaborate on this issue between Ejiofor and Emekofo. I want IPOB members to pay close attention on this, because a lot of things has happened. A lot of people have died on crossfire that we don't even know what we are fighting for. But please, Maz, if you can give us a very clear distinction tonight, so Biafrans can take this home, please. Very, very important.
Thank you. The problem he has with his kinsman is very simple. They are dragging a title in the village, no. He said it's his own position. And Chief Emekofo said it's his own position. That is where the problem lies. You know? And you don't come out to be threatening people with IPOB, you do this, you do that. You are not a member of IPOB. And you can't be dragging IPOB into the mess that is happening in your village. You know exactly the truth. That is because of this position of Onowo. That is somebody, if I'm not mistaken, the community speaker. That is what it is. This is what you have to tell people. And stop coming out and say that this is IPOB. This is IPOB. They are attacking you because of IPOB. Nobody's attacking you because of IPOB. But you are being attacked because of the problem you are having with your kinsman. That can be settled if you wish to. But I will say again, do whatever thing you want to do. Do not drag IPOB's name to mud.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. And this is still Biafra. This is Biafra Radio. And we're still here with Mazi Kanunta. Mazi, I just want to get your view on the new Lego team. Please, can you just give us the insight of what the new Lego team are doing? Even though that is evidently to everybody, but at least let's get from the horse's mouth, please.
Thank you very much. I would say the Lego team is very brilliant. They know what they are doing, and you can see what happened in the last court appearance. The argument upon argument. This is how you can test somebody who is a barrister indeed, and the legal team. Not somebody coming to tell you, no, that is the way we work. We don't want to embarrass people. If you're in the court to win a case, do you look at the face of your opponent?
Of course
or
not.
do you look at the face of their defense? You don't look at his face, because it's not important. You are only there to win your case. We all saw the argument. When then you came to court for the very first time. How did it happen? It's because of the new legal team that insisted that he had to be present. Quite unlike the other ones who went and cut a deal with the DSS that only should not be brought to court. How can you try somebody in absentia? You have a court case and you are not allowed to be present when your case is being discussed in the court or being argued in the court.
Wow.
But this gentleman made it possible. And Onyendu was given an opportunity to address the cause and address the press. That has never happened before. That was the deal reached with this man who are going today. It's very pathetic. And I have confidence where these men are. They are doing everything humanly possible to make sure it comes out. Unless in the Nigerian system, you know, where legal system doesn't work in Nigeria. Because if at all that it works, like I said before, the only thing left now is for Supreme Court to give an order, and a customary court will say no, we will not do it. And they will the judge will go ahead and do his own thing. That is the only thing left. But if Nigeria will stand on its own laws, there is no way Onyendu will lose. There is no way they will defeat this present legal team that is in place. They work as one body. Everybody has what to contribute in this legal team. It's not like before, when somebody is being domineering. Even if you ask him the difference, he doesn't know what extraordinary rendition is. Then where would you start to explain to him? It's unfortunate that the mistake has been made.
Yeah, no.
And then we move ahead. We move forward.
Yeah, Mazi, thank you very much for this reverberation. And fellow comrades and lovers of freedom, this is Biafra Radio 101 with Mazi Kanunta, the younger brother of the Supreme Leader of Indigenous People of Biafra. Mazi, there's something we need to elaborate before we wind down. There's a publication I want to bring to your attention. Probably want to comment on it. I'm not going to go deeply on it. Probably you've seen it. But you read how the plot orchestrated by a lawyer, Nnamdi Ejiofor, Maxwell Opera, and Nnamdi Kanu siblings has severely damaged Nnamdi Kanu's legal case. The untold story they termed it. You know, so I don't know if you have come across this particular publication, but I will read the first paragraph. It says, this individual driven by excessive ambition and selfishness have resorted to deceitful tactics such as lies, blackmail, and voodoo to achieve their goals. Aloy Nnamdi Ejiofor and Maxwell, in their quest to dominate as a lead counsel at all costs, have disregarded the well-being of their client, Nnamdi Kanu, collaborating with Nnamdi Kanu's father-in-law, Odozi Anyanwu, who harbored a grudge against Barrister Ejiofor. They conspire to undermine Kanu's defense. Nnamdi Kanu's siblings, driven by financial gain, have also played a destructive role by tagging Barrister Ejiofor, whom they see as obstacle to their monetary interests. Mazi, I will stop it there, and I need your response, please.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I'll use that word, any idiot or any fool that posted this or written by somebody handed over to him should go and ask a very simple question. Why did the Supreme Court state Onyendu's release? If you don't know, go and ask them to give you the judgment so that you can read. Sit down and read through it. After reading through it, then whoever that is mentioning the name of Ifeanyi Ejiofor or presenting him in any of these cases, you stone him to death because of what he committed. Go and ask them to give you the judgment to read. In the first place, accusing my father-in-law is an overstatement. That was the same man that brought you. That was the same man that brought you into this legal team. He was the same person that brought Ifeanyi Ejiofor to the legal team.
Wow.
If he's underperforming, he has the right to call for his discharge or debriefed. If he has done something, if Ejiofor has done something, nobody would have seen, nobody would talk anything today. Ask yourself, why is it that they refuse Onyendu to see his doctors in DSS? Who are the people that blocked Onyendu seeing his doctors in DSS?
Please tell us, man.
Who is the person that blocked Onyendu from having access to any form of document, including the legal documents, except the ones they brought? Who? Who told the DSS not to bring Onyendu to court? And after these things, the person has the temerity to be writing nonsense, which means they are all ill-informed. They don't know what is happening. That is why I said, before you have to talk, before you won't talk, make sure you have your facts and figures. You don't come out and start talking nonsense. You go out and carry out this argument and somebody will ask you one simple question. Look at the few questions I asked them. How did it happen? You can't do anything. What I'm trying to say that the mess we are in today is this man. They think that they will destroy IPOB but they never knew that IPOB is an organization built on a rock. That is Chukwu Kikadiama's movement. It's not of a man. That is one thing they have to understand. So if you're talking about me, Onyendu siblings being driven by money, it's laughable. I'm an IPOB member. I pay my dues to date. I do fundraising and contribute my own money. And people that has never contributed €1 in IPOB is telling somebody who is contributing, participating in everything we are doing, that is looking for financial gains. Where is the gains coming from? I'm in Western world. I'm in Western world. So is there any of them, those of them in Africa, writing nonsense? I can feed them and feed a generation. I can do that. But somebody's there talking nonsense, attacking people for no reason. I know that why he wrote these things is an act of frustration, but you can never bite the finger that fed you. You are sacked by Onyendu. Why don't you say, go, I'm going? I will survive without this thing. So why do you insist talking about people who are working for Onyendu now? For example, the state where we are. The reason why, most of them are talking about, I'm diverting a bit now. Most of them are talking about, you can see them writing. We don't need to stand trial. Onyendu doesn't need to stand trial. This, that. This is what they are saying to please themselves. But what is the next move? So you don't want Onyendu to stand trial. So what do you want Onyendu to do? To remain in jail. That is the strategy.
Yeah, very, very important.
For
very, very important, Mazi. And this is a very systematic. Yeah, it's systematic, Mazi. They don't have any clue, but they don't want you to stand trial. Go on, Mazi, please, go on.
So you don't want Onyendu to stand trial because it was arranged. And they are coming feeding you cracks. And none of them has asked for the judgment. Please give me the ruling, give me the written judgment. I want to read it and see exactly what happened. But somebody will tell you, go out and attack Kanunta. You come out and start talking nonsense. Somebody will tell you, go and attack Badamanya. You start talking nonsense. This is how it is. And we are here today because of those 100 men Onyendu has called, has mentioned. Look at the people of the United States of America, UK, Germany, Italy, South Africa, they stood firm. They've never wavered. These are people who know the true definition of freedom fighting. They stood. Those few individuals stood. Others are running helter-skelter, looking for where to gossip. The time of gossiping is over. Ask them, when they tell this story, ask them, give me the judgment, let me read. There are written reasons why Onyendu's bail was denied. Why they denied to release Onyendu. In appeal court, it's there. He went to High Court, he did not win case. He went to appeal court, he did not win case. He went to appeal Supreme Court, he did not win case. He will still want to go back to the Federal High Court again. Are you mad? Don't you have shame? If you are sacked, you are sacked. It's over because you could not perform. That is why you are removed. Stop accusing people that elevated you to where you are today. And that is my father-in-law. So you accusing him is an insult on this person.
It's a very pathetic, man. It's a pathetic. That article, like I said, I choose very little to talk about it, Mazi. So because we didn't want to dwell into the window they put up there. But at the end of the day, you have just done justice to the whole thing. Whoever that wrote that, we know all these things are propaganda. They started it, But at the end of the day, one thing I can possibly say here is their projection. Their projection. They're always projecting. Because even if you listen to Bintanyako on that particular last sitting, she constantly making references to Ejiofor shows you that never a time we had any heated argument between, just like in a defense lawyer come to court. It is your right to put up your defense. We never had anything. Everything was done in the back doors. But we can see the difference. From the 19th of 26th of February to 19th of March, there's a true distinction. Everybody can see clearly. And like you rightly said, Onyendu now address Biafrans, right? So by this write-up, we don't know. Like you said, their propaganda will not wash and we will not buy into it. And but I mean, I think we'll rest it there, not going further because I've done justice to it. The mention names of our legal council and all that. I mean, by the end of the day, it holds no waters because those individuals.
There is something I want to say here. Where we are today is if Ejiofor brought us there today.
Yeah.
Everything that is happening today, the way it's going, whether it's going well or going bad, hold him responsible because he was the architect of this. Starting from the time Onyendu was rendition to Nigeria, he never visited Onyendu until sometime in September. But he was writing, teaching others, and made a lot of people to believe him. And using his dodgy ways to think that he could destroy IPOB. He never knew that IPOB is way too advanced for him. Everything that happened today is him. There is nothing that went wrong in IPOB he was not part of. That is why you know them. Go and check his history from the day he was issuing orders. Ask him, did he ever see Onyendu before he put up his memos? Was Habila in his chambers that was visiting Onyendu with special counsel? He was scared. He was scared to visit Onyendu because he was scared of the DSS. Until Ejimako encouraged him to go and see Onyendu, nothing will happen. That was how he started going to DSS, thinking that the only thing he would do is just to reach a deal with DSS on how Onyendu should be handled. These are shameless people. This is a shameless person. The first thing Onyendu was, when Onyendu was rendered, the first thing he did was dancing. Everybody saw him dancing, throwing his money left, right, and center. And this is somebody that wants to be, that thinks that he can defend Onyendu. No, there's no need for that. It's over. It's unfortunate. It's over. We wish him well in everything he's doing, and they should leave IPOB alone. He is not the only person that can do that.
Mazi, there is two questions I have to ask you up straight. Yeah? Very, very important. And I think it's important that you clarify this. Number one is the sit at home. Remember that the majority of people today believe that Kanunta Kanu was meddling into IPOB affairs. Some people call it family business. But IPOB is a family affair because we are one family. That's what we called ourselves. I will take you back to your tweet. You tweeted about the sit at home, the ghost town, that sit at home was suspended. You tweeted it. And then again, the account. This is where I'm going to let you go. I want you to clarify these 2 points tonight. Make it clear to BIAFRANs what actually transpired. Because today, it was the same word he said that all of us now are crying onto. The account, we don't know how much went into it tomorrow morning. But you know that the account was a fraudulent account. It's in your Twitter handle. So please, clarify these 2 points before we call it a night.
Thank you. One, with IPOB sit at home, it's very clear. That was an order from Onyendu that it should be stopped. Our brothers, they knew, all of them from A to Z, they knew. When I met with them, we had a meeting on 30th of July, 2021. That was when the issue started. I said, we cancel the sit at home. There is no need for 4 weeks sit at home. What for? Few individuals insisted that must take place. That was the order given. I told them if they don't do it, something will happen. And before that time, this first time I'm speaking about this. If you check my tweet, on 8th of August, 2021, it's there. Why this thing, when they declared us, when they declared the sit at home, BBC Radio 4 carried the news that IPOB has a militant group, an armed wing, and they are planning to enforce sit at home. I notified them. And while this was happening, there was Her Majesty Royal Navy warship was in the Bight of Biafra. And in America has their ship, their warship in Tinkan Island. That same day, when the news came up on 7th of August, I tweeted, it was a well-orchestrated plan to keep Biafrans down for the day. And I'm glad that I thwarted that very arrangement. And after a few days, I tweeted, today I have saved the millions of souls of Biafrans. I don't have any regret on that. That was an order. They did not carry it out. And when Benjamin Madu visited Onyendu, he said it, that Onyendu is angry with them because they refused to follow his instructions, carry out his orders. It's everywhere. That was the first statement he made. And there he said it the way it is. Every other thing that came later, I would say, was state managed. So I still remember where I am. I saved soul staff for the day. And that was what saved IPOB. Till this very day as I'm talking. It was a very clear signal that many of them never wanted on in their life. Like the same man that went out, Nnamdi Kanu, and told the world that Nnamdi Kanu is not mentally fit. He wrote a memo to give to them because he was targeting IPOB money. And there he received money, dollars. But he came out and tell people he was working for IPOB on pro bono. So the thing he did, he thought he was going to destroy IPOB. Everything was his fault. Everything was Nnamdi Ejiofor's fault for giving a fake information to people. was a false narrative.
That's a crime. That's a crime, Maz. It's a crime.
A false narrative.
It's a crime.
Imagine that it's only in Nigeria where these things can happen. It can't happen in the Western world. You would derobe somebody. It's only in Nigeria where it will happen. Not here. Not in UK. They'll be derobed. And that is how it works. But today they will come out and be talking loud. Stopping up the seat at home was what gave birth to what is happening today. If they had listened to Onyendu, we wouldn't have been, Southeast wouldn't have been where it is today. That would have become the whole of Southeast. But some were trying to exercise power. And they will go out and be telling people nonsense. The audio is there. If you go and check my wall on 7th of August, 2021. No, 7th of August, 2021. Yes, you will see that audio there from BBC Radio 4. It's still there.
Yeah, I have that audio. Yeah, I have it.
So if we do things with evidence, when I'm talking, I will tell you facts. This is what it is. And I stand on it. That is how it is.
Now, Mazi, again, it done wonderfully because our mantra is to stand. Every IPOB member have a fundamental right to defend whenever you see anything ill is in our code of conduct. Now, he tweeted again about who made the account that is a fraudulent account. I remember vividly when that happened. And we all have problems because we know that we have one central command when it comes to finance. We have the head of finance, which is Madam Nendianya. Now, there's no meddling. There's no meddling in IPOB because the structure was very clear, right? And we have hierarchies, and hierarchies is there. Even when our lead counsel, this question being thrown to him on national television, he addressed it. We have hierarchicals, but at the end of the day, in IPOB, we have we have three heads in IPOB in sense when it comes to the head of state. We have head of finance, a head of the head of state, and head of media, right? When this whole thing started, when the propaganda started, because we need to clarify this tonight, he tweeted that who made the account? Some of us didn't know what the tweet was all about because we are not privy to what is happening on the back end. But he tweeted that who made the account is fraudulent. Until tomorrow morning, we did not know how much went into that account. And the account was shut down. Like the previous ESN account, 747,000 was shut down. Onyendu ordered that money to be moved before Onyendu was rendition. Very important.
About the Umwede account is a very simple thing. I said, hold Ejiofor responsible for everything that happened. He was the one that called meeting and wrote his fake letters and gave to somebody. Anything. He is the one that is responsible for what happened. Why would I do this Ejiofor? Because he's only thinking about money and nothing else. I warned them about Umwede account. I warned them, they insisted. Told them to change, they changed because he was looking for where to grab his own money with his information that Onyendu is not sound. That was what he sold to them without seeing Onyendu. Without seeing Onyendu. This is how he operates. And those people who are in IPOB that has worked with Tobias and Nnamdi Kanu for years don't even know how Onyendu operates.
Of course.
They don't know how he operates. But it's very sad that he took that route to think it was thinking that he would destroy IPOB. But today, where is he? That is why I still Reverend Madam Anya till tomorrow. Madam Nendianya. She's 1 out of a million. How do I go? It doesn't matter what people are saying. It doesn't matter what people are saying.
We all know that. We all know
and
that.
She's still
And we start with that.
Now, there's no money coming. I can see everybody going up and down. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Now I wish they could undo what they did. But it's very late.
Yeah, it's very, very late.
I can't see her. I can't see her. You know?
I can't see her. It's very, very important. Yeah, Mazi, and this is a very wonderful privilege to Biafrans, and you have done justice to every single question I've asked you. I don't want to go overboard because we will reconvene again. If there's any burden issue that we need to deal with, we'll bring you. Don't want to overwhelm our people, but the pertinent questions has been answered tonight. And everybody know, as Mazi Kanunta has spoken, it is not me, George, who made I said it. It comes from horse's mouth because a lot has been said. And you know, it's not like they kept quiet. That's why I shouldn't put you down. Kanunta Kanu broke his silence. He didn't. This is our national voice radio, BIAFRA radio, approved by our leader. And that is where all of us will assemble. I said it over time that we shall rally around ourselves. Now that we have seen our leaders, only we have spoken. And that is what gives preview to what we are doing here today. The propaganda that have gone around is not what we are here to discuss because we know how to deal with those issues when the time, permits us. But I'm very, very, humble to be the one hosting you tonight and making it clear to the world what has transpired within the family. This is a family. That's why we call IPOB one family. And the 4 cardinal points in IPOB, Onyendu read it out to us on the day he addressed us. And we are hoping, and April 17th, Onyendu still address the press to tell Biafrans. Because now it is not like a business as usual. Things has changed. What Ejiofor has done, we talked about it all over the time. But it's good today that Kanunta Kanu came here. He has came to tell us because his name has been mentioned a million times. They have got nothing to say. But because they see those that are standing on the gap for our leader. This is the after Onyendu is Kanunta Kanu, whether you like it or not. There's one adage in Igbo land that after you fight on the street, you must surely come back to your inside your home. That's his. None of us here understand the pain the family of Kanunta Kanu is going through. They lost their two parents, and he's telling me about money. Can you look us into our eyes and tell us how much does that money want? How much have we contributed in IPOB? Many men have died, and their two parents paid the ultimate price, and they are still standing here. That is the fundamental question some of us need to look at ourselves in our mirror. And can you answer that question to yourself? But Mazi, we cannot thank you enough for this privilege of giving to us. And I'm going to ask you to give us your departing words. And subsequently, we'll reconvene because this is a platform for us to, this is a BIAFRA platform, and it's open for everybody to come in. If you want to come in, please give us your departing words, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will say on behalf of the Kanu's family, we affirm our unwavering commitment to fighting against injustice. The illegal detention of our beloved brother Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, who is a prisoner of conscience. This has strengthened our resolve to standing up for what is right and just. Our family has always been guided by the principle of fairness, equality, and respect for human rights. The unjust imprisonment of Nnamdi Kanu has only served to galvanize us in our determination to seek justice, freedom for him, and for all those who are unjustly detained for their belief and convictions. I want to make it clear that our family's position in fighting injustice can never stop. We will continue to raise our voices, advocate for change, and demand accountability from those responsible for perpetrating injustice to our people. The support and solidarity we have received from our community, friends, and allies have been a source of strength during this challenging time. We are grateful for the outpouring of support and pledge to continue our fight for justice with determination and resilience. As a family, we stand united in our conviction that every individual deserves to be treated with dignity, respect, and fairness. The illegal detention of my brother Nnamdi Kanu is a grave violation of his rights as a human rights activist, and we will not rest until he is released and justice is served. We call upon all people of good conscience to join us in our fight against injustice, to speak out against oppression and tyranny, and to work together to build a more just and equitable society for all. And I'll call on every meaningful Biafran to pray for Onyendu, that Elohim, that called him, should continue to strengthen him. And before I forget, there are things we should always remember all the time. For those people ranting, Nnamdi Kanu is in detention today because of our sufferings, not for just any other reason, for the avoidance of doubt. So when some idiots are ranting, hey, come out on where you are, come out on where you are, I'll be laughing. If he wants to come out, he will come out stronger and richer than every one of you. But that was not the reason why he was called. He is there because of you and I and our unborn children. I remember those days when my father used to talk. When we talk here, he would say, man, how many days are left for us to go? Look at yourself and ask yourself how many days is left for you to live on this earth. We are only fighting for our children. That is the only thing and nothing more. May God bless every one of us and bless his elect, Nnamdi Kanu, and God bless Biafra.
Hello, my wonderful people. As we have finished watching this interesting video, please, I want to see your comment, your contribution, your opinion in the comment section. Like I said earlier, let us do it constructively. Tell me what you think about this video that you have just watched, and also about the platform. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please remember to subscribe, put on your notification bell, share this video, and remain blessed.